and welcome world to our first semi-finalist recording for Grand Rapids Civic Theater's 10 for All Festival. You are watching the drama category of the festival, and we have 3 wonderful plays for you to enjoy this evening. This is the first time Civic Theater has hosted any kind of playwriting festival, and we are so excited to have created this opportunity for local playwrights to share their work with the community. We received 50 different scripts in our 4 categories: drama, comedy, wildcard, and youth, plays written by playwrights under 18. And each script was read and scored by a panel of local theater experts and our staff. The top 3 scripts in each category are being read and recorded by a group of awesome volunteer actors under the guidance of a director and a stage manager, and will be adjudicated by a panel of 3 judges who will ultimately determine which of the 3 shows in each category will go on to perform in person in our final round on Civic's Meyer Majestic stage. Tickets for the final round of the festival will go on sale Monday, March 22nd, and the show will run April 9th through the 18th. Audience members will get to enjoy the 4 finalists in our first in-person production in Civic Space in more than a year. And they will get to vote on the Grand Champion Audience Choice Award, which will go to one lucky finalist on the last night of the competition. So hop online to grct.org anytime starting Monday to secure your place in this historic Civic Theater event. Now, due to COVID restrictions, tickets are very limited. Our software now uses automatic social distancing tools for everyone's safety. But that means that you'll want to get those tickets early because you will not want to miss out on the world premiere of 4 exciting new plays. So on to the semifinals. Tonight's reading in the drama category will be adjudicated by an outstanding group of honored guests. Please join us, honored guests. Mayor Rosalind Bliss became Grand Rapids' first female mayor, taking office on January 1st, 2016. She previously served as a 2nd Ward City Commissioner for 10 years. Welcome, Mayor Bliss. Professor Twanda Lampkin is an actress and associate professor of acting at Western Michigan University. She's performed professionally at Tony Award-winning theaters across the country. Her television credits include Law and Order SVU, and the critically acclaimed series Wonderland. She received her MFA from the National Theater Conservatory, and we are so glad to have you, Professor Lampkin. And last but not least, the ever delightful Andy Rent is a radio host for 100.5 The River. Andy has been on TV and radio in West Michigan for the better part of 3 decades. He's very active in the community and is a great friend of the theater always. So thank you for being here, Mr. Rent. These 3 incredible judges will offer a short reaction after each reading and then log their scores later tonight to determine which of the 3 drama productions will go on. So let's get started. Our first play in the drama category is Detail Oriented by Erin Osgood. As a Michigan playwright and actress, Erin Osgood has had her work read and performed across the country and even in England. She wanted to make sure I said thank you to everyone at Grand Rapids Civic Theater and this community for believing in her voice. So judges, I'm going to have you dig out, and we're going to welcome director Kristen Tomlin, stage manager Rhonda Lahan, and the cast of Detail Oriented. Kristen, you want to introduce your cast for us?
I would love to. Detail Oriented will be performed this evening by Patty Besteman as Marie and Audrey Wieringa as Rachel.
All right, I'm going to turn my camera off and take it away, friends.
Lights up on Marie in the kitchen making coffee.
Rachel, you're going to be late. Rachel.
Hi, Mom.
Morning, sleepyhead. You're going to be late.
I have plenty of time.
If you're late for your ride, they won't wait.
Anne's driving today. Anne will wait.
Are you coming home right after class?
I may stay after and study in the library.
Well, let me know if you're going to miss dinner.
Yes, Mom, I will.
Beep, beep.
I love you.
Marie goes for a hug, but gets brushed off.
Mom, I have to go. She's waiting.
At least take a granola bar so you have something in your stomach.
I'm not hungry.
Take it for later in case you do.
Mom, we seriously need to have a conversation about boundaries.
What do you mean by that?
I'm in college now. You don't have to wake me up or make sure I eat.
Well, I've been your mother for 19 years. Old habits are hard to break.
Try.
Okay, have a good day.
Bye.
Wait, that's not right.
What's not right?
Go up and get the red one.
Mom, I'm going to be late.
Oh, now you're worried about being late.
Ugh. Red?
Beep,
Red.
beep. Rachel runs out, comes back quickly carrying the red sweater, and hurries to the door.
Got it. Later.
Put it on. You don't want to catch a cold.
You are so controlling. Good?
Good. Have a good day.
Okay. See you later.
Wait,
Yes?
something's not right.
How?
I think, yes, you need a ponytail.
Rachel has an elastic around her wrist and begins putting her hair up.
How's this?
Yes, good.
Beep, beep.
So, am I good? Can I go?
Yes.
Okay. Bye. Again.
That didn't seem right. Not right at all.
What's happening?
What do you mean?
Why are you having such a problem this morning?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Did you have a liquid breakfast?
I don't think I like the sass.
Well, you've been known to hit the bottle pretty early.
Who told you that?
Mom, please.
It's been a rough few years.
Vodka is not the breakfast of champions.
I didn't drink this morning. If you don't believe me, here.
Marie passes her cup to Rachel, who takes a sip.
Yuck! It's cold coffee.
See?
Just because it's not vodka doesn't mean you don't have another problem. Either choose a cold brew or drink your coffee while it's still hot.
Okay, Queen Barista.
Don't just keep drinking your coffee after it's cold. Life's too short.
Don't you have to go to class?
Yes, but apparently something's not right.
Sorry.
Let's go through it.
Okay.
Red sweater, right?
Yes, red sweater.
Check. Ponytail. Check.
Jeans.
Check. And waiting for me.
Check. I don't know. Maybe try it again?
Rachel nods and exits. Marie gets new coffee.
Rachel, you're going to be late.
Hi, Mom.
Morning, sleepyhead. You're going to be late.
I have plenty of time.
If you're late for the ride, they won't wait.
Anne's driving today. Anne will wait.
Are you coming home right after class?
I might stay after a while. Got some stuff to do.
Okay. Call me if you're going to be late.
I always do.
Wait, that's not how it goes.
What do you mean? That seems right.
No. It has to be right.
Okay.
It has to be.
You will get it right. You always do.
But it keeps taking me longer and longer.
The important thing is you do.
Let me think. Red sweater.
Check.
Anne waiting.
Check.
Off to class.
Check.
You missed dinner.
Yes.
You didn't call.
No, I didn't. See? You remember.
Still so much I forget.
It's all right.
It most certainly is not all right.
It was over 40 years ago.
What?
That day was over 40 years ago.
How could it be?
Memories fade.
It seems like yesterday.
Memories are strange that way.
You walked out and I never saw you again.
Yes. I went to class, didn't call, missed dinner.
You didn't call. You always call.
I disappeared.
You disappeared. Where do you go?
I don't know.
How can you not know?
Mom, these are your memories, not mine.
I just want to remember.
You will. You'll get this.
Maybe it wasn't red?
What color do you think?
Green. Green was always your favorite color.
Okay, green it is. Anything else?
I don't know. Maybe your hair was short, like a bob.
A bob. I can do that.
A bob. Yes, I think I remember.
Good. Don't worry. We're in this together.
All right. Shall we do it again?
Let's do it again.
Rachel, you're going to be late.
Lights fade.
Wonderful. Thank you, friends. Thank you. All right, judges, I'm going to have you pop your cameras back on. We'll have a little time for you to respond. Professor Lampkin, do you feel like maybe going first?
Sure, I can do that. The first thing that popped out to me, I did get a chance to read it before getting to hear it read aloud. First thing that popped out to me was the established relationship between the mother and daughter, which to me was super interesting. What ended up happening as I read it, we get the repetition of the conversation. I think it was just slightly confusing for me. I think it was a little bit clearer once I heard it aloud, but it'd be interesting to have some sort of clarity a little bit earlier on. I don't know what that clarity might be, but I would just say that that's the one thing that stuck out to me is I love the relationship from the beginning, but then the repetition got confusing just for me to slightly be a little bit clear at the end. I'm still unsure though what it actually is. What is the reality of the situation? There are two things that I have in mind, but not quite sure which one is right. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Mayor Bliss.
Thank you. I really liked the characters and the dialogue back and forth. I thought their facial expressions and emotions really came through. I found I laughed out loud a couple times, and then I was really sad a couple times, and so I could feel the emotion, and I think they did a really nice job of expressing that. The characters really came out, in my opinion.
Yeah, thank you. And then Mr. Rent.
Well, actors, I thought you did a great job because I read this first and I was thoroughly confused on what I was reading. I wanted to get a real definition of what it was, and I was confused on it. And I like the professor, I have two thoughts that are we dealing with dementia, or is this a dead daughter that she's visualizing and going through the conversation they had 40 years ago? And I wanted to know. So I was confused. I thought the relationship between the two was great, and the daughter, whatever place she was in, was trying to help the mother, and the mother was trying to, I wasn't sure, relive that episode where her daughter disappeared and she hadn't seen her for 40 years. So it was, I thought, okay, but I was very confused, and I would walk out of the theater going, what did I just see?
Yeah, makes sense. But also I love that we're all wondering and thinking about it and talking about it. And
Right. I want to see Act 2.
Yeah, that's exciting too. All right, thank you, judges. Next up, we have Waiting by Kristen Hirsch. Kristen Hirsch is a comedian, writer, and actor from Grand Rapids. She's the director of both Last Laugh Comedy Festival in the spring, a festival celebrating the talents of women in comedy, and the Grand Rapids Improv Festival in the fall. So let's welcome back director Kristen Tomlin to introduce her cast for Waiting, and we'll have the judges turn their cameras off.
All right, the cast for Waiting in order of appearance. Light will be played by Julia Westrate. Dark will be played by Brock Gabbert. Eric will be played by David Cobb. Dr. Parkins will be played by Spencer Tomlin. And Amy will be played by Audrey Waringa.
All right, so if you could join us, actors. All right, and here is waiting.
Eric is alone, sitting slumped with eyes closed in a simple wooden chair in the middle of the stage. Light enters and stands to Eric's right, looking straight ahead. She is holding a yellow notepad and dressed in white. After several seconds, she begins to get restless and starts looking around. Suddenly, Dark enters hurriedly and stands to Eric's left. He is wearing black and also holding a yellow notepad.
You're late.
And
Let's just start so we can...
get this over with. Sounds great. Ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
What? Where?
It's always the same old boring questions. Who, what, where?
Shh.
Where am I? Am I dreaming? Am I
No.
dead?
No. And not yet.
But tick-tock.
Do you remember what happened?
I was driving. It was late and pouring rain. I could hardly see the road, and then all of a sudden I saw her right in front of me. Ruby. She was just standing there, smiling. Or at least I thought it was her, but it couldn't have been her, could it? I swerved hard and flipped my car, and then... Amy? Is that Amy crying? Where is she?
Amy is with you.
Not here with your body.
The accident was pretty bad. You're at the hospital in a coma.
And Amy is there with me? I haven't seen her in months. Why would she come?
She was the first one there.
If she's there, then where's here? What am I doing here?
You're waiting
Waiting for what?
for whatever's next.
For how long?
Minutes, days, sometimes months, occasionally years.
Years.
It's not up to us to decide.
And it's certainly not up to you.
Who are you? What are you doing here with me?
Waiting.
Waiting.
Do you know if it was her? Do you know if it was really Ruby that I saw?
I'm sorry, we don't know that.
It was raining so hard. I should have been going slower, but I was mad and I was thinking too much about everything. And there she was in the middle of the street. I swear it was like she was right there, wearing that blue dress that she practically lived in, just like I remember her. She looked up at me and then...
It was late. You were tired.
Or you're crazy.
Or maybe it was her. We can't know.
I'm happy I got to see her again, even if it wasn't real.
It's more than you ever did when she was alive. See her, that is. Your file describes you as absent and workaholic. Tisk tisk.
Stop it.
Why? What else have we got to do other than relive the bad old days?
I was there. I worked hard to give her everything she ever needed or wanted. I loved her.
You loved your work.
This isn't productive. Can't we just wait quietly?
Early mornings, late nights, weekend business trips. Most of the time, she was lucky to get a quick kiss on the forehead when you shuffled in at midnight. She hardly laid eyes on you.
But when she did, she was so happy. She adored you.
And I adored her. I was busy, yes, but I tried to make time. We went on vacation to Disney World for her 5th birthday.
And you were taking business calls the whole time. Remember, it says here that more than anything, More than anything else, she wanted to go with you on It's a Small World. And on your last day there, right when you were next in line to get on the ride, you got a call.
About the Paris account. That was a very important call. I didn't have a choice.
Sometimes we get a choice, and sometimes we don't. That choice was yours to make. You stepped out of line to take the call, and Ruby and Amy rode without you.
There wasn't time to go again before the park closed.
Okay, can we just...
I'm not finished yet. Soon after that, Ruby got sick.
That was not his fault.
Remember when you found out? A man as busy as you finally got to experience what it feels like when time stops.
She told me her legs hurt.
Amy wanted to take her to the doctor.
I told her to wait. I told her that Ruby was just pretending, that she just wanted attention.
It wouldn't have mattered. The cancer was aggressive and it had already spread by that point.
Amy finally took her in, and when the test results came back, she had to get the news alone. You weren't there. You had an important meeting that day.
One day she was fine, and the next, it was all so fast.
Time does go by fast, especially when you don't use it wisely.
You couldn't have saved her.
I bet it was a strange feeling, wasn't it? For all your money and your power and your privilege to not matter for the first time in your life? Time is the one thing that can't be bought.
Shut up.
Ooh, temper. Are you sure you don't want to switch teams? Our side could use with some fresh, dark energy. Plus, Black is slimming.
He's right. I thought I was giving her everything, and all ended up being for nothing. I was never what she really needed me to be, and then just like that, she was gone. And then I lost Amy too.
It looks like you found her. Or she found you.
After Ruby died, I lost myself in work more than ever. For over a year, it seemed like Amy and I only saw each other in passing. I thought we just needed time to process, but that's not what was happening. Amy was growing bitter and her grief was consuming her. I buried my feelings. She said she wanted a divorce. I said she was giving up. So we compromised and went to counseling. We tried to deal with our feelings about Ruby and each other. And for a while, I felt like things were getting better. Like we started to connect again. But I could never really let my guard down. I could never admit that I was never there in the ways that she needed me to be, the ways that they both needed me to be. And because I couldn't admit that, we grew apart again. One night I got home from work and she was gone. Left a note saying that she wasn't coming back. That was 3 months ago. I've been expecting the divorce papers to come any day.
But divorce papers didn't come. Amy did.
How much longer? What is the point of this? What are we doing?
Waiting.
In case you haven't figured it out yet, this place doesn't care about your schedules or your deadlines. You belong to it, not the other way around. You wait. We wait. You know Ruby was here.
Here? In this place?
Right in that same chair.
But she wasn't here for long. A minute, maybe less. I don't want you to think that she lingered. The door opened quickly for her.
The door?
To move on.
Oh, right.
She was such a sweet girl. I asked her if she understood where she was going, and she looked at me, smiled, and said, "Butterfly Beach." Then she skipped away.
What's Butterfly Beach? I missed that in the notes.
It wasn't in the notes.
Baby butterfly, you light up my world. Baby butterfly, daddy's little girl. When we can't be near each other and our hands don't reach, our hearts can go and play Butterfly Beach. I have so much to learn, and you have so much to teach. So meet me, baby butterfly, at Butterfly Beach. I'd sing that to her sometimes at night when I came home late and went to check on her. She was always sleeping, so I never thought she heard me.
She heard you.
Well, if that's what she said, then it means she's waiting for me. I need to go to her. Open the door.
We can't. It's not up to us.
Believe me that I would if I could.
Then I'll do it myself. Why can't I stand up? What's going on?
We're waiting.
We're waiting.
You must be Eric's wife. I'm Dr. Parkins. I'm sorry, it's not looking good. We'll keep doing everything we can, of course. But I just want to be honest with you. Sometimes people never come out again. Hope isn't lost. It's just thin.
Please hang on, Eric.
It doesn't sound like Amy's ready.
She doesn't know that Ruby is waiting for me. If she knew that, she'd want me to go to be with her. I'm not useful there anymore.
Everyone can be useful. Even you, if you choose to be.
I want to be with my daughter.
You will be. Someday. Everybody has to go through the door eventually. But he's right. There is always more left to do if you're given that chance. Not everyone is. The door opens for the majority of people that come here. The gift of more time is rare.
I do want to see Amy too. Tell her I love her. Tell her I'm sorry for everything. How am I supposed to choose?
You're not.
It's not up to you. The choice isn't yours to make.
Suddenly, there is a creaking sound of a door opening.
I think it's time.
Light and Dark walk towards the door. It is open just a crack, and there's a bright light shining through. There is gesturing and hushed, indistinct whispering between Light, Dark, and an unseen person through the crack. A small note is passed through to Light before the door slams shut.
That doesn't usually happen.
Things go in the door, but they do not come out. Except for this.
Walks back to Eric's right and hands the note to Eric, who looks confused and opens it slowly.
I see you, Daddy. I hear your voice, but you're just out of reach. I'm busy building castles while the waves crash on the beach. Take care of Mama and my sister. I've held her and she's sweet. I love you, but it's not your time. It's not our time to meet. Sister, but Ruby doesn't have us.
Please don't leave me, Eric. I need you. We need you.
It seems like the door isn't going to open for you.
Time is the greatest gift, Eric. Not everyone gets the chance to start again.
Will I remember this?
Still with the questions.
You'll remember just enough. And your memories of Ruby will guide you, if you let them.
You know, this one wasn't actually so bad.
Is that positivity I hear? Hey, we could use a real go-getter like you on our side.
Not a chance. Ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3.
Eric slowly comes to and groggily looks around. The beeping of a heart monitor can be heard. Amy wanders in looking worried, holding a cup of coffee, when she notices Eric awake and rushes to kneel at his side.
Oh my God, Eric, you're back. He's awake. Call the doctor. I thought I lost you too.
Oh, Amy, I have so much I need to say to you, to both of you.
But how do you know? Nobody knows.
Ruby told me.
Blackout.
Wonderful, friends. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to invite our judges to come back. This time, I'm going to start with Mr. Rent, if that's all right.
Well, when I read this for the first time, I actually had tears in my eyes when it finished. It hit home in so many ways. The father being so busy and involved in his career, and it's so tough in my business and other businesses to be a father and a family and answering obligations at the same time. And so I saw a little bit of myself somewhere in there that I fortunately recognized a long time ago. I felt like hearing the reading, actors, I thought you did a great job. I was watching a Twilight Zone episode. It was one of those. It was a story of redemption, awakening, but had a happy ending at the same time. So I thought it was very compelling. I enjoyed it, and very lesson teaching at the same time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andy. Mayor Bliss.
Yeah, thank you. I too found it a really compelling story and emotionally powerful. I think the actors, all of them, did a really nice job. And the banter back and forth, I felt like it was what all of us have going on in our head sometimes, as we wrestle with life. And and I thought it was almost watching the main actor kind of forgive himself right before your eyes. And I thought the entire team did a really nice job.
Thank you, Mayor Bliss. And Professor Lampkin.
I think this piece has really good bones to it. I love the use of the light and the dark. Something that stood out to me is I thought it'd be really wonderful if the playwright would consider shaking up sort of the archetypes of the genders, right? Does light have to be a woman and does dark have to be a man? I actually think it'd be interesting to switch it around, or even to have two women play both or two men play both. I just think it'll add some really interesting layers to the piece. I would also say, because the subject matter is such a heavy subject matter, right? Death versus life, regrets, not doing what you wish you would have done. I think there's already sort of a melodramatic tone to it. So I think it's really important that that light and dark not lean into the melodrama, that the melodrama is almost left to the guy who is in between, the guy who is waiting. That way, we don't necessarily feel like light feels one way, sympathizes for him, and dark doesn't. I think it'd be really interesting if it were a bit more neutral, not in a way where we didn't get a sense that they were invested one way or the other, but in a way that it doesn't have to feel like a weight the entire time, so that we have layers within the arc and the thread of the story a little bit. So yeah, those were some of my thoughts. I got more, but yeah, those are some of them.
No, I think those are really great observations and ways to sort of rethink, the play as the playwright goes back to it for the next time. It's great.
Yes.
Great. All right, thank you, judges. And then last but not least, we have one more. Next up, we have Canvas by Todd Lewis. Todd has performed on stage throughout Grand Rapids and has written a full-length play called Conversations with a Chimpanzee that performed at Dog Story Theater. In addition to his theater work, Todd is an award-winning filmmaker and composer. Let's welcome back Kristen Tomlin, our director, to introduce the cast of Canvas.
All right, the cast of Canvas includes Spencer Tomlin as Robert and Brock Gabbert as James.
All right, cast of Canvas, why don't you pop your cameras on? And whenever you're ready.
Robert, dressed in a suit and tie and carrying a briefcase, is taking a walk through Central Park on his way to work. James is sitting on a park bench. He has a brown paper bag in his lap. As Robert walks by, James pulls a camera out of the brown paper bag and takes a picture. The following happens at a brisk pace. Flash.
What did you just do? Hello? What did you just do?
I'm sorry.
Did you just take my picture? Hey, I asked you a question. Did you take my picture? You did, didn't you? What the heck, man? What right do you have to take my picture? Privacy mean nothing to you? What the hell do you want a picture of me for anyway? You a goddamn tourist? Take a picture of the Statue of Liberty. You want something for your scrapbook.
I didn't take a picture of you.
What? Do I look stupid to you? I've walked through Central Park on my way to work every day for the last 20 years, and I've learned to notice when a stranger points something at me. You pointed your camera at me, and you pulled the trigger.
I didn't take...
You got a camera in that bag, huh?
Yes.
A camera?
Yes.
Did you just take a picture with it?
Yes.
So you did just take a picture of me?
No.
Jesus Christ.
I wasn't taking a picture of you. That tree.
What?
I was taking a picture of the tree. You got in the way.
That tree. I got in the way of your picture of a tree.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Yeah. Well, I don't want any unauthorized pictures of me out there.
Out where?
Out, just out there, out anywhere.
Are you someone?
Someone?
Someone famous.
No, that's not the point. I have a right to exercise control over the unauthorized use of my image by any person in any way, and
You're a lawyer.
A goddamn lawyer. I am just a person who doesn't want his picture taken. All right?
I'm not going to use that one anyway. Wasn't a very good picture.
Excuse me?
Got in the way.
I got in the way.
Yes.
Of the tree.
Right.
That tree.
Yes.
That tree right there. You expect me to believe that you're sitting snapping pictures of goddamn trees in Central Park?
Not just trees.
Aha!
I like stones, too.
Oh, you're a moron! You from National Geographic?
No.
Then why the hell are you taking pictures of trees and rocks?
They shouldn't be here.
They... what?
They shouldn't be here, but they are. Here they are.
Here they are.
Shouldn't be here in the middle of a city. Should be another building right here, a parking meter, a hot dog stand, not a tree, not a stone.
This is a park. There are trees in parks.
Yes.
There are stones in parks too, you know.
Stones. Right here in the middle of the city. Beautiful accident, that.
It's not an accident. That stone's here because we put it here. Central Park. People put this park here. The trees, everything.
Helps the city breathe.
Oh, you're killing me, man.
Robert starts to walk away. James snaps a picture of him from behind.
What the hell?
You shouldn't be here either.
You just took another picture of me.
Yeah, that one was of you.
Give me that damned camera.
Robert rushes at James, and James does nothing to resist. Robert grabs the camera and opens the back to expose the film.
There's no film. You've got no film in this camera.
The film is right here.
What is wrong with you, man?
I like to look through the camera. Helps me see things better. Different.
You know, it's crazy people like you that give New York City a bad name. Nothing better to do than stand around and harass people who are just trying to live their lives.
Not harassing, just watching.
And taking pictures.
There's no film in the camera.
I know there's no damn film in there. Ah! I gotta get to work.
You've got a lot of sadness inside you.
What?
You should look through my camera.
You're a lunatic.
You like what you see. Come on, take a look through my camera.
Don't you come near me, you freak.
I told you, you'll like it.
This is a con, right? You get me to look in that camera, then you knock me upside the head and take my wallet.
I'm not going to take your wallet. Here, I'll set the camera on the ground and go over there.
You want me to look through that camera?
Yes.
Do you have any idea how insane you're sounding right now?
Just take a look.
Robert slowly approaches the camera. His eyes never leave James. He bends down, picks up the camera, and just stares at James. James smiles. Robert puts the camera up to his eye and looks through it towards the audience. A look of pure amazement comes over his face.
What the?
He takes the camera down, then looks through it again.
How? What?
He looks again.
I told you you'd like it.
How'd you do that?
I didn't do anything.
But that's not possible.
You saw for yourself.
This is some kind of trick.
Not a trick.
But it was beautiful.
Yes.
Everything. So beautiful. Who are you?
What did you see?
No buildings, no cars, no city, just nature. Like Central Park was everywhere, but even better. So green, so alive. I have never seen anything like that. I've never seen
Life like that.
life like that. I don't understand.
You want to look some more, Robert?
No, I want to know what's going on. Wait. I never told you my name. How do you know who I am?
Yeah. Guess I'd be pretty paranoid myself by this point.
What's going on?
I have a confession to make. I've actually been watching you for a while.
Watching me?
Yes.
You're from the future, aren't you?
You've read too many Philip K. Dick stories. Who I am isn't as important as who you are.
What? Why am I important?
Because you're an artist.
No, I'm not an artist.
That's part of the problem. You're an artist who doesn't even think of himself as one.
Listen, man, I'm not an artist. I go to my boring job every day and I come home to my boring life. Look at me. Do I look like an artist to you?
What do artists look like?
I don't know. Overalls, long hair, piercing eyes.
I take it back. You've read too many Harlequin romance novels.
They don't look like me, okay? I'm a businessman. A suit, a tie. Hello?
Artists' appearances are as diverse as the canvases upon which they paint.
I'm telling you, you've got the wrong guy. I don't know what you want, but I'm not an artist.
That building. Over there, you know it?
What?
That building through the trees right there with the Gothic arch and the bronze dome. Do you know that building?
Of course I know that building. I designed it.
You created it.
How do you know all this? Look, I'm an architect. I drew up the blueprints. Somebody else built it.
But without you, it wouldn't look like that. It wouldn't be.
So what?
So, you're an artist, Robert.
It's just a job.
For some people, it would be, but not for you.
I don't understand. What's this all about? Why are you talking to me? Why did you make me look through your camera? Why did you show me a landscape without buildings, without my work?
I didn't show you anything you didn't want to see.
I need to sit down.
This wasn't going to be just a normal day at work for you, was it?
No. I was on my way to give notice. I've been offered a better job.
As an architect?
No, mergers and acquisitions. My wife's father's company. Going to be good for us.
Better pay?
Not really, about the same.
Less hours.
No,
But it's better?
it's different, I guess. They tell me it will be better.
Mergers and acquisitions. I see.
Actually used to want to become a painter back when I was a stupid kid. I remember going to the Met for the first time. My mother wanted to take me to see the sculptures, but she couldn't drag me away from the landscape paintings. Mostly the Impressionist paintings. It was something so calming, so I wanted to live in those paintings.
Why didn't you become a painter?
It just didn't make sense. Like wanting to be a movie star or a rock singer. Great to dream about as a child, but in reality, what if I wasn't any good? I couldn't stand the thought of creating mediocre art. I spent so many afternoons in that museum. I learned everything I could about all of it. Did you know that many artists would reuse their canvases? They paint over one piece with another. They told us about that at the museum once. That always stuck with me. I could never imagine destroying one work of art to create another one. Wait.
Robert picks up the camera again, looks through it in the direction of his building.
No buildings. Nothing. That's the canvas that was there before I painted over it. Shit. I'm sharing a canvas with God.
God, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, whatever floats your boat.
Wow. Pressure. Great. Yep. I am definitely done as an architect. Makes my decision that much easier. I get the point.
No, you don't. You need to keep doing this. The world needs more people like you who care about what they're creating, the art they're leaving behind. Look at that building. Your building, Robert. It's more than just a place of shelter, isn't it? It's part of the landscape. It's part of the sky, part of the earth. It's beautiful. The world needs more people like you, people who realize that if we're going to share the canvas, we need to look beyond the function and see into the art. Keep painting, Robert.
But what about the mergers and acquisitions job?
Waste of your talent. The world needs all the artists it can find right now. Heartless, money-sucking businessmen? Got plenty of those.
Wait, your camera.
You keep it. Look through it if you ever need inspiration.
Who are you?
I'm James. Just think of me as an art critic.
Lights.
Right. Thank you so much, friends. And we're going to invite the judges back in. And I'm going to start with you this time, Mayor Bliss.
All right. I really enjoyed that a lot. A couple things struck me at the beginning. Robert really annoyed me, but I really appreciated the difference between the two characters. Like the contrast was so stark. But then as it continued on, I really liked Robert. So the way that they were able to kind of bring out his true character, I thought was extremely creative. I wasn't quite sure where it was going. So I stayed curious and I stayed wondering, like, where is this going? Who is this? Who's James? What is he going to see when he looks through the camera? So it really kept my attention the whole time.
Awesome. Great. And then Professor Lampkin.
I'm going to agree with Mayor Bliss on the contrast. That's what makes it such a strong piece is you have just that amazing juxtaposition between these two men that already I'm pulled in and I want to know where is this going to go. I think this piece is such, it feels so current in this day and age where it's all about social media and capturing images, whether you want somebody to do it or not, people are always taking pictures. But the comment is what they don't realize is what you're capturing is not always what's important, but that you need to dig a lot deeper. Like what is behind the image versus just this idea of filters and everything looking beautiful? What's the reality of the life we're living? And are we paying attention to what's going on in the world around us? So the piece was really strong in that sense. And I do love the end as well. I think that there's a little bit of fat that can be trimmed off. I think there's a little bit of repetition when they start to talk about the artistic stuff. I feel like it's said once and it doesn't necessarily need to be said anymore. It's far more powerful if it's said once and it sticks than if we need to keep repeating it. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, and those are the kinds of things that you notice more when you hear them out loud, I think, than when you're reading them on the page. So yeah, thank you. And then last but not least, Andy Rent.
Well, all of the above for one thing. And then this angel that has come down to help Robert find his life and almost save his life in a way, because he's giving up what he truly loved or started to love and migrated into architecture, and then realized that he wasn't satisfied, that he wasn't seeing the beauty of life, and he was missing it. And this angel, James, then showed him the camera and showed him what he was missing and brought him back, and then probably gave a better man to the world back, so he will go on to create better things. I loved the professor. I loved what you said about a little overstated at times and trim it back a little bit because the message was there. You don't have to pound it into our heads. I got it. And I thought it was beautiful. Yeah, very nice.
And I love that you said angel. I hadn't even thought of that. And as soon as you said it, I thought, yes.
Yeah,
That's exactly how it lands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As he'd been watching him for a long time and realized this man needs help and I can help him, but I need to show him the way and just look through my camera.
Yes, well said. Love that.
We all need that, right?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, thank you so much, judges. And that concludes our readings for this evening. For those of you.
Can I just say one thing? I don't know if the actors are still listening, but I think they did a great job, a wonderful job. And Robert was especially good and brought his character out. And I loved what Mayor said about, I was really disgusted with him. I thought he was despicable in the beginning, and he redeemed himself at the end.
Well, and little known fact, our actors really only got these scripts about a week ago. So they've only had a week with them and a quick whirlwind week of Zoom rehearsals with actors and directors and stage managers. And we are so grateful to them for the work that they put in. So thank you to all of them, of course. And, if you are watching this at home, the judges are going to be submitting their scores after this recording, and we will announce the finalists. So one of these plays will be a finalist for us. We'll announce that on Monday, March 22nd via social media and email. So be on the lookout for that exciting information. We want to thank all of our playwrights tonight, Erin, Kristen, and Todd, for your excellent work. Thank you again to the volunteer directors, stage managers, and actors for making this possible this week. A special thank you to our evening judges for your time and thoughtful responses. And hey, thank you, West Michigan, for watching and being part of our first 10 for All festival. Everyone here at Civic Theater is just so grateful for the support of our community in these challenging times, and we cannot wait to see everyone back in our theaters soon.